So that's about 27 centimeters of fresh snow. What a 48 hours we have had here in Montreal. For those who haven't seen my last couple of videos, let me remind you that 48 hours ago, there was not a single flake of snow. And today, a very different scene. We have cars, which probably have a good 45 minutes to an hour of digging before they want to, or before they can, I should say, before they can drive anywhere. I mean, look at this guy. Just look at the depth of snow on all sides. I can laugh because I am not the driver, but if that were you, you would probably not be laughing. There's actually still snowflakes coming down, but it's gentle enough at the moment that it's not much to think about. But according to my super scientific measurement on the table in my backyard, we had about 27 centimeters. So just under a foot of snow. Maybe some places had a foot of snow. Let's call it a foot. Oh man. What a day for the city of Montreal. Get a shovel. If you move to this city, get a shovel. People always remember a coat, a hat, gloves. Don't forget a shovel. Also, don't forget to be careful on the roads, as you can hear from that loud honking. A little known fact about Canadians, for the most part, we know how to drive in the snow, but we suffer from something called collective amnesia, which means every fall season, we all seem to forget how to drive in the snow. So we know how to in January, February, March, but in December, when that first snowfall comes, we all seem to have forgotten. And you get some crazy drivers out there. I mean, listen, the thing about snow is, in a few weeks' time, I'm surely going to be wishing it was all gone. But when it first arrives, the beauty is undeniable. Isn't that right, car buried under snow? He might not feel the same way. But I stand by what I said. Oh my god, look at that look at that construction vehicle across the street. It is a Monday. I mean, in theory, this is a work day, but yeah. I think the construction team doing work over here woke up, took one look out the window and said, nope. At least that's what I would have done. Then again, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe that was them in that alleyway. It must be said that people are tough in this town. Life does go on, work does go on. This is not England or one of those places where people say they got 2 centimeters of snow and everything shuts down. Life continues in Montreal with or without a foot of fresh snow. And I'm about to take you to another part of the city where life continues. I thought it'd be cool to pay a quick visit to Old Montreal, a very scenic part of the city where I haven't been for a long time. So let's go there right now. So this is actually the Montreal bike sharing system, Bixi. It's gonna take a bit of work for someone to use one of these today, but it is still active through the winter. But days like this will test if anyone actually wants to use them when the city is buried in snow. But that is where we're going today, towards the oldest part of the city, as you can see by the people in cars. An event like this is not a snow day in Montreal. These days, with so many people working at home, there might be a few more people who stayed home today, but all things considered, still a lot of people on the streets. Now this is the time of year when the sun sets early, as we all know. So it's gonna get dark pretty quick here. But just as we have the last fading light, I'm going to enter into the old port and give you a look at the place that most tourists like to visit during the season that has the fewest tourists, I would say. But if you can handle the snow and the cold, and you are considering a trip to Montreal, this is a very intriguing time to visit. You get to have a, shall we say, a real Canadian experience. Okay. Let's see if I can make it up these steps without slipping and falling on my face. I'm joking, but only slightly. You gotta be careful with steps like this in the wintertime. You might think you have good footwear, but stays like this, which put that thought to the test. Gone are the snow-covered cars and small shops and cafes of Plateau neighborhood. And here are the giant, imposing stone buildings greeting us in Old Montreal, as well as these things. Hello, these things. Are they supposed to be snowflakes? I don't know what they're supposed to be. Oh, they actually continue all the way down that street too. For anyone looking for an epic snowball battle, this freshly fallen snow is always the best. Oh, actually, I spoke too soon. The snow has started to settle. But right when the snow has fallen, if there's a bit of wetness to it, it just sticks together like oh God, help me out. What's a good metaphor? I can't think of anything that sticks together. Sticks together like... Well, anyway. That guy just ran right through a red light. For anyone wondering how I'm filming this, link to the camera that I'm using in the description of this video, because it really is my favorite new tool to do these walk and talk videos. And shout out to the city of Montreal for giving us so many cool spots like this. That's a weird camera angle. I'm not going to do that anymore. Christmas vibes have begun. Now, it must be said that it is mostly tourists walking around on a day like this. But I would invite any Montreal viewers just to remember what a cool neighborhood we have down here. There are a few places in North America where you get a vibe just like this. A few places in the world, I should say. Because, I mean, Europe has buildings which remind me of old Montreal, but few of those places get as much snow as we get here. Should I walk down? Yeah, why not? On the other side of all that is the St. Lawrence River. And it's that river and the port which is on it, which is, of course, why Montreal was settled here. What's such a strategic location for Canada. Unique problem for any shops trying to advertise this time of year. Can people read your sign or not? On a day like today, they cannot. Taking a look at the main street here and the sidewalk here. I have to echo what I've said in previous videos about how Montreal really does a good job with the snow removal. Standing in front of us is one of the towers of the Cathedral of Montreal. Notre-Dame-de-Montréal, I believe it's called. And if you heard a child screaming a few moments ago, that kid is screaming because you have not clicked the subscribe button. And as soon as you click subscribe, he will stop. So just remember, you watching this video on your phone or your computer, you control more than you might think. Some people still parked here, though I would not recommend driving around Old Port. It's famous for having not so much parking and Yeah, just much better to walk or metro down here if you can. I'm soon going to leave Old Montreal. Just want to show you a look at the cathedral and also one of the more picturesque dépanneurs. But up ahead is where I want to end this brief look at Old Montreal. We got a few more of those snow decorations lighting up the evening, which is getting darker by the minute. And in front we have the famous cathedral, which actually has some renovation going on, but it's less than before. If I remember last time I was here, that whole side was covered in scaffolding. So I don't know if they're giving her a facelift. Her operation is almost done. But it's still open and can still be visited. Let me check the time. Okay, so it's only 4:30. I thought it was a bit later because it's so dark, but maybe I'll take a little walk and show you a bit of downtown in the snow. Would you like that, YouTube? Would you like to see me continue to freeze my fingers off so you can watch this presumably warm and cozy somewhere inside? Well, that is exactly what I'm going to do. This won't be a full downtown tour or anything, but I think it will be interesting to show you a bit of the newer side of Montreal. Now, just a reminder that if I wanted to, I could go inside and take the Montreal Underground, which I have a very long video talking about on this channel. If you scroll back about 10 videos, you'll see one where I visit the world's largest underground what's it called? Underground network, I suppose. And it's for days like this, when the 4 million residents of Montreal need a way to get around the core of the city without being outside. It's for days like this that it was built. That building, the Palace, the Congress, the Montreal, will actually connect to the network. If anyone chooses to retrace my footsteps and wants to warm up, I don't know why you would retrace my footsteps, because my footsteps will take us crazy places like this. And I don't really know where I'm going, but isn't that half the adventure? Sometimes you forget to do that. Sometimes you get stuck in routine. If you're someone who commutes to work, sometimes you take the exact same route every single day. And then you grow bored of your city, or frankly, even bored of your life, because every day is the same. But if you can remember to keep some of that traveler mentality, and maybe walk down a street you normally wouldn't take, say yes to a chance to do something different in a different part of the city, you can stay fresh and adventurous even where you live. Now, that was not very long ago at all that I said I was leaving Old Montreal, and already look at the change of architecture we have here. Actually, let me give you a look at the Congress building that I just passed. It looks kind of cool at night too. In the next few days, Montreal is supposed to fall to about minus 15 degrees Celsius. And I might not be doing a walking video anytime soon because it is significantly less fun when your fingers are frozen. Okay, we just got to Boulevard René Lévesque. Let me see if I can cross in 10 seconds. Wish me luck. One of the urban canyons filled with tall new buildings. Will there ever be a day when people of the future look at streets like that and think what we think about old Montreal? Will these modern glass skyscrapers last that long? Will we as a human species last that long? So that 300 years from now people can look and say, wow, look at those funny square glass buildings they used to build. And come and take their selfies and visit them. And think about what it must be like to be in that strange time known as the 21st century. I was kind of joking, by the way, when I said, will we as a human species be around? I'm actually not one of those people who thinks the apocalypse is around the corner and we're all going to be gone. I think humans will find a way to survive, as we always do. But those buildings, I don't know. For example, a building like this. I can't see that lasting 200, 250 years like some of those buildings in old Montreal. I think particularly in the 18th century, it seems to be we mastered a kind of iconic, timeless form of architecture that people love to keep around. But new buildings just seem to be more focused on piling small squares on top of each other so that landlords can charge as much money for rent as possible. But enough about that rant. Let me take a little walk down St. Catherine Street. St. Catherine's in the snow. Ooh, that looks good. What? I'm allowed to get hungry. That was not an ad. This video is not sponsored by A&W's. Although, if someone from A&W's is watching and wants to pay me in burgers, I will walk around rambling for burgers. Fact. This neighborhood looks pretty cool at night too, under the snow. I thought after Plateau and Old Montreal this might be a bit boring, but actually it must be said that you get some nice Christmas vibes down here too. I mean, just look at this public square across the street. Covered in snow. Wow. Huh? 5 o'clock. Doggy. Oh man, snow days must be so exciting if you're a dog. Like suddenly there's snowbanks that are higher than your face. I mean, for us this is a lot of snow, but for them it's like, yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool to be reincarnated as a dog living in Montreal. Just for days like this. I'm not sure how much further I'll go with this video. I never quite know when to end these walking talks. I've posted some shorter ones that are about 10 minutes. I've also done longer ones that are an hour or more. If you have thoughts on what the ideal length is, let me know. Or if you're someone who will go as long as I do, and the longer the better, let me know as well. But this is maybe a good place to end today's video. Something I don't think I've talked about in a video before is the giant ring, which some Montrealers think was a giant waste of money and others think is quite cool. You know what though? I think this is my first time seeing it lit up like that. It was always silver. I'm curious how they lit it up like that. Are the lights on the side? How do they do that? Let's take a closer look and try and figure it out. Oh yeah, look at that. They got about a dozen little lights. It's almost like lasers. I wonder if that's what they're using. I can't reach it, it's too high. Oh, I probably shouldn't look at that either. I'll give you another look at the ring in a moment, but this is kind of cool. So this is temporary art created by a Cree artist, Jason Carter. I was wondering if there was some indigenous connection, given that the artwork, the shapes of them, remind me of some indigenous Canadian artwork. And here they have it. I'm gonna guess that that's the Cree language. Nice to see that alongside the French and English. Polar bear sounds, I guess. Look at that. That's kind of cool, covered in snow. And this, my friends, is where I'm going to end our look at the first big snowfall in Montreal. And actually, you know what? The snow's still coming down. It literally, I just noticed in some of those, the reflection of those lights, it's really like, it's starting to pick up again. So who knows, maybe we'll get another 15 centimeters or something crazy and I'll have to do another video. Oh, this would be a nice shot to leave you with. Not the ring, you had your moments. But this, a nice view all the way across to the mountain that bears Montreal's name, Mont-Royal. Can you see the little cross on top? It's just a speck in the distance from here, but you can see it hanging over the city all the way from Plateau, where we started today. Hope everyone is enjoying their start to the holiday season. As always, I'm Dan from The New Travel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.